Should the purpose of assessment be selection, a recommendation is included in specific reports for a candidate. RoleFit has a recommendation algorithm which is derived from a candidate's results in relation to the criteria selected and customized for a phase or role. For assistance with report customization settings, see the Reports, Customize video. This video is based on Omnicore's report suite, and may differ in part from your reports. The functionality, however, will apply to the areas of your reports, as discussed with your Omnicore account manager. The recommendation is generally included in the integrated and management reports. It is displayed after the executive summary in the relevant reports. The recommendation section will automatically be displayed in the relevant reports. However, you will need to confirm RoleFit's calculated recommendation, or change the recommendation, for it to be displayed in the relevant reports. This video explains how to confirm RoleFit's calculated recommendation, or change the recommendation, for a candidate. To confirm, or change a candidate's recommendation, click Candidates. Use Active Selection to navigate to the correct company, project, and phase in which the relevant candidate is situated. Depending on your company language, you might see, for example, business unit and role instead of project and phase. For assistance using Active Selection, see the Active Selection video. Click Manage Candidate in the row of the relevant candidate. Click Recommend. If populated for the phase, important report information and critical competencies will be visible here. Important report information is used to remind report writers about important information to highlight when personalizing candidates' reports. Critical competencies are provided to inform report writers of the competencies deemed critical for the role being recruited. Click to preview System Recommendation. The system calculated recommendation for the candidate will be stated. The reasons why the system has provided the recommendation will be listed. At times, a system recommendation cannot be calculated. The reasons why a system calculated recommendation is unavailable will be covered later in this video. Click to close System Recommendation. If you are comfortable with the system calculated recommendation, select the relevant option from the recommendation list. Alternatively, if you wish to select a different recommendation for a candidate, select the appropriate one from the recommendation list. If the recommendation list is on, please select. When clicking Save, a blank recommendation section will display in the candidate's reports. Select No Recommendation from the recommendation list if a recommendation cannot be determined. If the No Recommendation option is selected from the recommendation list, the recommendation section will not display in the candidate's reports. If not recommended, recommended with development areas, or recommended is selected from the recommendation list, the recommendation will display accordingly in the candidate's reports. You can use the field below the recommendation list to capture a recommendation integration or summary. You can use the formatting tools in the field to format your integration or summary according to your stylistic requirements. If populated, the recommendation integration or summary is displayed near the end of the integrated, selection and management reports. Click Save. If a system calculated recommendation is unavailable, the reasons for this will be provided when previewing the recommendation. This could be because the candidate does not have data. Customize report has not been set up. The candidate's completed tests are not part of Customize report, or the purpose of the assessment does not require a recommendation. If you see the candidate does not have data message, the candidate does not have results for the assessments in their battery. It could be because the candidate has not completed any assessments in the battery, or if the candidate has completed any external tests, the candidate's results have not been captured. For RoleFit to calculate a recommendation, the candidate will need to complete their assessments, or results for the candidate will need to be captured. See the Manage Candidate, View Tests video for assistance with capturing results. When previewing the candidate's recommendation, if you see a Customize report has not been set up message, the desired criteria have not been selected and customized on the report customization screen. Selecting the criteria you wish to report on for the phase is required to generate a candidate's reports. For RoleFit to calculate a recommendation, ensure that the relevant criteria are selected and customized for the appropriate phase. For assistance with report customization, see the Reports, Customize video. When previewing a candidate's recommendation, If you see a completed test not part of customized report message, the selected criteria in the report customization do not include criteria from the assessments for which the candidate has results. Selecting and customizing the relevant criteria from the appropriate assessments for which the candidate has results is required before a recommendation can be calculated. For assistance with report customization, see the Reports, Customize video. A calculated recommendation is only provided if the assessments are conducted for selection or promotion purposes. If you come across a message stating purpose of assessment does not require a recommendation, it indicates that the candidate is being evaluated for reasons other than selection or promotion. If, for example, the candidate is being assessed for development purposes, then a recommendation is not required. For assistance with viewing a candidate's purpose of assessment, see the Manage Candidate, Bookings video. Lastly, you may receive a pop-up stating that the calculated rules have changed, and the recommendation is reset. If a candidate's recommendation has been previously calculated, and there are subsequent adjustments to the phase, a candidate's recommendation might be reset. Changes to the phase may involve, for example, adding an assessment to the existing battery, or adjusting the selected criteria on the report customization screen. If the previously calculated recommendation is impacted based on the changes to the phase, and the candidate's recommendation has been reset, a newly calculated recommendation will be provided when previewing the system calculated recommendation on RollFit. The recommendation integration or summary will, however, not be reset. It is important to note that if a recommendation has been reset, you cannot generate or send the candidate's reports until a selection is made from the candidate's recommendation list. It is suggested that you review and consider the impact of the changes on the candidate's results before choosing a recommendation from the recommendation list. You will also need to adjust the recommendation integration or summary if required. Click Save. Click the Manage Candidate shortcut to navigate to the candidate's Manage Candidate dashboard.